I'm what you call a collector of bootleg Pokemon games, Pokemon Diamond and Jade, Chaos, Black, etc. It's amazing the frequency which you can find them in the pawn shops, Goodwill, flea markets, and such. They're generally fun, even if they are unplayable, which they often are. The mistranslation and poor quality make them unintentionally humorous. I've been able to find most of the ones that I've played online, but there's one that I haven't seen any mention of. I bought it at the flea market about 5 years ago. Here's a picture of the cartridge, in case anyone recognizes it. Unfortunately, when I moved 2 years ago, I lost the game, so I can't provide with a screen cap. Sorry. The game started with a familiar Matarino and Gengar into a red and blue version. However, the press start screen had been altered. Red was there, but the Pokemon did not cycle through. It also said black version under the Pokemon logo. Upon selecting New Game, the game started to the Professor Oak's speech, and it quickly became evident that the game was essentially Pokemon Red version. After selecting your starter, if you look at your Pokemon, you had an additional to Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle, another Pokemon, Ghost. The Pokemon was level 1, and it had a sprite of the ghosts that are encountered in Lavender Town before obtaining the Silph Scope. It had one attack, Curse. I know that word is a real move named Curse, but the attack did not exist in Generation 1, so it appears it was hacked in defending Pokemon were unable to attack Ghosts. It would only say they were too scared to move. When the move Curse was used in battle, the screen would cut to black. The cry of the defending Pokemon would be heard, but it was distorted, playing at a much lower pitch than normal. The battle screen would then reappear, and the defending Pokemon would be gone. If used in a battle against the trainer, when the Pokeballs representing their Pokemon would appear in the corner, they would have one fewer Pokeball. The implication was that the Pokemon died. What's even stranger is that for defeating the trainer and seeing Red receive 200 for winning, the battle commands would appear again. If you selected Run, the battle would end it as it normally does. You could also select Curse. If you did, upon returning to the overworld, the trainer sprite would be gone. After leaving and re-entering the area spot where the trainer had been, would replaced with a tombstone like the ones at Lavender Town. The move Curse was not usable in all instances. It would fail against Ghost Pokemon. It would also fail if it was used against trainers, but that you would have to face again, such as your rival or Giovanni. It was usable in your final battle against them. However, I figured this was the gimmick of the game, allowing you to use the previously uncapturable ghost, and because Curse made the game so easy, I instantly used it throughout the whole adventure. The game changed quite a bit after defeating Elite Four. After viewing the Hall of Fame, which consisted of ghosts and a couple of the Pokemon I used for HMs, the screen cut to black. A box appeared with the words "Many years later." Then it cut to Lavender Town. An old man was standing looking for tombstones. You then realized this man was your character. The man moved at only half of your normal walking speed. You no longer have any Pokemon with you, not even Ghost, who up this point has been impossible to remove from your party through dispositing in the PC. The overworld was entirely empty. there were no people at all. There were still tombstones at the trainers that you used curse. However, you could pretty much anywhere in our world at this point through your movement was limited by the fact that you had no Pokemon to use HMs, and regardless of where you went, the music of Leverage continued on the infinity loop. After wandering for a while, I found that if you go through Diglets Cave, one of the cuttable bushes that normally blocks the path on the other side is no longer there, allowing you to advance and return to Paddle Town. Upon entering your house and going to the exact tile where you started the game, the screen would cut to black. Then the sprite of the Caterpie appeared. It was replaced by a Weedle and then a Pidgey. I soon realized that as the Pokemon progressed from Rattata and to Blastoise, that these were all the Pokemon that I had used Cursed on. After the end of my rival's team, the youngster appeared, and then Bugcatcher. There were the trainers I had cursed. Throughout the sequences, the Laboratory music was playing, but it was slowly decreasing in pitch. By the time your rival appeared on the screen, it was a little more the dramatic rumble. Another cut to black. A few moments later, the battle screen suddenly appeared. Your trainer sprite was now at that of an old man, the same one as the one who teaches you how to catch Pokemon in Viridian City. Ghost appeared on the other side along the words Ghost was to fight. You couldn't use items and you had no Pokemon. You tried to run, you couldn't escape. The only option was fight. Using fight would immediately cause you to struggle, which didn't affect Ghost, but did chip off a bit of your own HP. When it was Ghost's turn to attack, it would simply say dot dot dot. Eventually, when your HP reached the critical point, Ghost would finally use Curse. The screen cut to black and the final time. Regardless, by the buttons you pressed, you were permanently stuck in a black screen. At this point, the only thing you could do was turn the game off. When you played again, new game was the only option. The game had erased the file. I played through this hack game many times, and every time the game ended with this secret several times. I didn't use Ghost at all, absolutely impossible to remove from the party. In these cases, did not show any Pokemon or trainers and simply cut in the climatic battle with Ghost. I'm not sure what the motives were behind the creator of this hack. It wasn't widely distributed, so it was presumably not a monetary gain. It was very well done in the bootleg. It seems he was trying to convey a message to it. Seems I am the sole receiver of this message. I'm not entirely sure what it was. Eventually of death, the pointlessness of it. Perhaps he was simply trying to morbidly inject death and darkness into the children's game. Regardless, this children's game has made me think, and it has made me cry.